Hello fairy friends, welcome back to my doll studio. Here I have my 19-inch Thumbelina, and here she is with her paint stripped completely. Here is the 14-inch with the ink stains. The 19-inch also has them, it's just not as readily apparent as those on the 14-inch. Here are the limbs. As I'm cleaning them, I'm just doing a little before and after. So these dolls were pretty grubby. The bodies were also pretty bad, so I took those apart. Now I'm tackling the ink stain. So here we go. Okay, I was really hoping that one application would work. So I've already done one application of the 10% benzoyl peroxide cream, and they've been wrapped. They got a couple of hours of heat, and I'm about to unwrap them. At the end, I will do another application so I can show you exactly what I did. So we'll be opening these up. I'm so excited. It's 8:30 a.m. It feels like Christmas. I want to see what this first application has done, but stay tuned. I will reapply to show you exactly what I did, but let's see if it did any good on one application. Okay. I can still see it. Yep. Now this is a different type of vinyl than the other one, so I am going to wipe it away. I'm not seeing any pink coming up on the washcloth, so I don't believe that that did anything at all. Okay, this is a harder vinyl. This is the 14-inch. So we will reapply, put the plastic wrap back on. But I've seen this work for others, so it might just be a multiple application type deal, and I may or may not have spent enough time on it. Now on this one, let me turn it so that it's facing you. On this one, there wasn't so much of an ink mark as there was a general blue-ish discoloration throughout the whole vinyl. And I thought if anything is possibly on there, and it looks like I'm gonna have to wash that. It did have a little bit of pink on the lip, and it was that same type of pink mark. Okay, so there it is still. So I'm guessing that somehow or other, and there it is again, still there. So here is what I will do. Open this up too. What I'm gonna do is, and see, this was a different type of ink. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these with some hand soap. Put on my cream here, and bring the heater into my room because I don't really feel comfortable with running it without me being present. But this is the box that this came in. It is 10%, so I'm assuming 10 will be better. So anyway, I will wash these gently and then reapply and put them in the heat again. Okay, I've washed off the old cream completely, and I'm going to reapply it and retreat and do a second round here and see what happens. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Start back with this lady, and this time I want to get this more evenly applied, so I'm gonna sit down, baby. Ace, sit down. I want this more evenly applied. So what I'm gonna do is brush it on. Only because when I was rubbing it off my finger, I don't know if I was putting too much pressure in some areas, and so then making it thinner, but I want it to be thick, because everything that I've read in every video that I've seen, it says a generous amount. This is like an old trick, so I'm sure if you guys are watching and you've done this before, then I understand it's not a new thing. Even before seeing my friends doing this on YouTube, I had read about it. Okay, and I'm just making sure that it's sealed up so the moisture stays in. That moisture is going to be able to come out, and that cream will dry up if you leave it out in the sun or you put it in front of a heater. So I just want to make sure that it stays put for the length of time that I'm wanting. And I'm just going to apply this all over her face to just get some of that pink discoloration from the original pink paint, factory paint, and see what happens. So this is technically the second go round, so part 2 I will take off the plastic again and see how far we've gotten. So this will just be part 1. In the description, I'm going to put links to videos of my 2 friends that I subscribe to who've also tried this, because this is actually a pink. My 2 friends have tackled the dark blue and black scribbles, so you can see how they've done theirs, and you can see an actual worst case of a doll with the ink on. And like I said, they will be in the description below, so you can watch an additional video and see what other doll restorers have done. So, and then there is some discoloration here, even though I got the marred up cheek paint off. As many of you know, when you take paint off of a vintage doll, sometimes that paint will still leave a little trace on there where it's gotten embedded into the vinyl, kind of like how the the ink does. See, I think it's the same pen. Is this the one I had? I don't even think this is the brush I had. Alright, that's a little bit darker, so I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker on there. And if all else fails and this doesn't work, the marks aren't so bad. We've all seen worse on a doll. We've seen the dark black paint. We've seen the dark blue. I mean, not paint, but ink. Right. On a foot, this will just get covered up with a shoe or a sock, but here's the thing. and I say this as well, sometimes the dolls don't get restored exactly how somebody else might, and I restore them to as good as what I will like because I don't intend to sell them. So I have different standards. I have a standard for if I'm going to resell. I have an even higher, well, it's probably about the same. I have a standard for if I am doing the repair for a friend or family member. My standard for myself is a little bit lower. So this is more to show you guys, and more for practice for me. So that I'll have a little bit of learning for the next time I have maybe a darker type of ink, what works and what doesn't. But I can just put a sock on this and put a sock in it. No, I can just, this will be covered up if it doesn't, if all else fails and it doesn't come out. It'll be for me. This isn't for someone else. My restoration is more rigorous for other people because I want it to be perfect. But whoop, this is for me, and so if it doesn't come out the next 2 or 3 times, I might put it away and try again, or I might proceed to finish them out. So not a big deal. Somebody might even accuse me of being persnickety, which is probably true. So now I'm going to set this by the heater, and I will show you that in just a second. Okay, I have this set up. As you can see, on a little metal tin, and I have it so I can check to feel the vinyl and the plastic wrap and make sure it's not getting too hot. And I treat a space heater as I do a candle, an open flame. I never run a space heater unless I'm in the room. I might walk out for a little bit, but I would never ever just let it run, because if you grew up like I did with the space heaters that are very dangerous, even the modern ones can still cause fire. So I'm not recommending that you do this. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it. If you happen to do this, you need to be so careful. Do not leave it unattended. Anyway, we will see what this round of heat and blemish cream does for the pink on this vinyl. And I'm going to let it sit all day, so I'm probably going to regret it. It's 55 degrees out, so it's going to get hot in here. I got the ceiling fan on. So stay tuned for part 2 where I open it up and investigate and see what happens this time around. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye-bye.